Hi there, welcome back to Save with Crypto. Okay, so have you seen what Bitcoin just did? It kind of just dropped down, right down here to 16,609. It went straight back up again. Really weird. And the annoying thing is I've been looking at this this downward wedge here, this one here, and I actually had an order set down here at it was about here, about 16,590, and then it kind of missed it by about $30. That would have been a brilliant entry, wouldn't it, for a long? But yeah, I missed that one. And then it's gone up again right to the top of this wedge. So to me, this wedge is looking valid. Let me just measure that. 1.64%. That's a big jump. That is in a short space of a few minutes. That would have been an excellent little trade. Anyway, it didn't happen, so never mind. But yeah, these downward, what they're called, descending wedge things, these have a more likelihood to break to the upside. So that's what I'm hoping for. So I'm actually trying to get into a long down here, if possible. Anyway, that wasn't exactly what I came here to talk about today. I'm still thinking from my video earlier on today about what to do about LKMEX and whether I should lock it up for 4 years, because I think I'm going to definitely turn it into version 2 LKMEX and take advantages. It's a bit hard to see here, but I was looking at the Lucian Tadea talk on X Day, and the benefits are, you've got all these like boosted APRs for selected farms, boosted APR for Metastake, and stuff to do with the launchpad, all that kind of thing. So I think there are definitely some good advantages for the version 2. It's just a matter of how long I lock stuff up for. Now, something happened at the weekend which Lucian reminded me of, well, me watching the video reminded me of, and basically my car didn't work, and the problem was the battery was knackered. It was really weird because it was like I had it tested with one of those things where they test it under load and stuff, and it was actually reading as like okay. Now the only thing I knew is that when I bought my car, I know that for a year it had been sitting in a field in France doing nothing. So I always suspected that the battery had a problem, because when I came over on the ferry one day and it was a bit choppy, the alarm was going off, and then when I tried to get it started on the ferry when I got to Dover, it wouldn't start, which was highly embarrassing and a bit weird. But once it had been jumped and started going, and it was okay, and it was all right until the other day when there was a really cold day and it wouldn't start again. Started first thing in the morning, then I went down to a supermarket and then got back in it. It wouldn't start again. And, I got someone to test it then, and it tested fine. And then I got it tested again with somebody else the next day, one of these free tests, and it tested fine. And then it let me down again on Sunday. So the conclusion I came to was that I was only going to fix my car and move forward by changing the battery. And I had a choice of batteries. I could have bought a cheap one, or I could have bought one the same as what was in there originally, which was one of these, which is bloody expensive. You can actually get them cheaper than that. I didn't actually pay that much, which is a very expensive battery because it's got all the stop-start technology and all that. But, I thought, shall I buy a cheaper version of it, or shall I try and have a slightly smaller one or save a few pounds? But I didn't. I actually went for that. So what did I want? I wanted a great big battery that was fully charged and was going to last me a while. I think that's a sign, I think what I should do is convert all my LKMEX to version 2 and fully charge it for 4 years. And I'm going to hope that any money I want out of the DEX, I'm going to be happy enough with taking what I get from the meta bonding if I need it. And also, there is a possibility still that via ZoidPay, we still might be able to use LKMEX for spending one day in the future. I can't imagine how it's going to work, to be honest, with the new tokenomics, but it's still a possibility. And in the Discord group for ZoidPay, people are still talking about it. So, for example, like Pommy J here said, so spending LKMEX not possible now. And Ahmed, who is a admin, he said, no, we are waiting to get an update about this from our team. So that sounds kind of hopeful. So bearing this in mind, I'm thinking of going in for like the max. Now, as I say, this won't suit everyone, and I do think it's quite a big decision. But to be honest, part of it as well is the fact that, you know, I make YouTube videos, and it's going to be more interesting if I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, which is providing liquidity for the DEX, and you know, getting the benefits from that, rather than sort of like essentially slowly sort of backing out of my involvement, which I don't think I want to do, because I've been kind of very heavily involved with the Maiar DEX since November 2021, and I think I'd like to continue that level of involvement. So I think that's the way I'm tending today. Anyway, we've still got to wait until later on to see what we can do. We should be able to swap version 1 to version 2 later on, and then get an idea of like the energy values, which will equate to your effective new unlock dates, you know. So yeah, I'll take a look then and let you know. Anyway, so I think the problems I had with my car at the weekend were for a reason, and that reason was to help me decide what to do today. That's a ridiculous thing, isn't it? But, you know, I've heard of other people saying such strange things as well. I'll tell you what I did think as well is I'm thinking of getting a bit more eGold. Now, I wouldn't normally say that while it's kind of going up, but just looking at this, really, you know, this still looks like this double bottom that I drew way back in, when was it, June? Still looks like this double bottom could be valid, kind of thing. And if that's the case, then, you know, we could be looking at a large movement upwards. It's possible, and if there was a catalyst for it happening, it might be the new exchange being launched. That might encourage a lot of people to want to get involved. And also, I believe eGold is now on Coinbase or something, but I don't use that, so I don't know. If it is, let me know. But if that's the case, then I would have expected to see a little bit more involvement. But I don't know. Maybe all them Coinbase people are keeping an eye on what's happening, and if they see the exchange being launched today, which eGold is a major part of, you know, it might encourage a bit of a surge in interest. Either way, I think getting eGold at $44 is a bargain anyway. So I think I might do that. I've just done some work and got paid for it, so I might buy a few eGold. I'll have a think about it anyway. But I know what normally happens with me. I kind of wait for a dip and it never happens, and then all of a sudden I'm buying it at like $50. So I might just bite the bullet and do it. Anyway, if all that sounds like the workings of a madman, you're completely correct. But do give the video a like anyway. Leave a nice comment. Make sure you subscribed. Make sure you got the notifications set on all. And above all, tell your friends.